I'm nearly 31 now, and I've been kind of like, rehearsing, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, physically, for this moment, for the better, part of my life. So no, it's just one more step towards insanity, I guess, sonic insanity, So the tour's been good. The tour's been good. Besides Linda's bleeding. Yeah. It's so funny, actually, on the internet, there's like a lot of rumors that he's like a, full-blown cocaine, meth addict or whatever, but we were just laughing our asses off because of that. But no, everything's good. It's just, it's been very, very different for the band, at least for me, because it's the first tour, a long tour I've been doing sober. So that's a big difference, and it also, has mellowed the rest of the guys out a lot as well, so we're not partying that much, rather concentrating on music. So I guess that's our only chance, there's always better parties, there's always people who can drink more. There's not a single person on earth who can play love metal better than us. So I guess that's our forte, and we should concentrate on that rather than on the, the other activities. I've done it, I write all my music sober, and I can work on it, if I'm drunk or whatever, and so that wasn't the problem. It's just you easily tend to wipe a lot of the rubbish underneath the carpet, and I did it by a bottle, and it's not the prettiest sight when I've just let the carpet be. I'll let the magic carpet ride, the black magic carpet ride happen when I go back home in Finland and start writing new stuff on my guitar. But also, when you just, when it gathers up, it takes a long time to clean it up as well. A little tiny bits of piece you have to separate and, put into the right places, decide what you're going to throw in the bin and where you're going to save and archive. So that's how it is. But, but it's like, we do a lot of things with him, with the whole band, and we seem to do a lot of things backwards. So that's one of the things. I kind of like, the last 10 years have been my last 10 years, and these are my mid next 10 years, if you know what I'm saying. It's just, it's, I'm, feeling good, rejuvenated, feel like, starting back from late 90s. Like all of this was just a very vivid, dreamlike sequence, dream within a dream, as Edgar Allan Poe once wrote down. No, what's my plan? No, basically, the only thing, you easily get up in a situation where you're very self-centered. Obviously, when you're a writer or you're a so-called artist, you're very self-centered because you write the songs and you write about the things you've been going through yourself. And I kind of like, for some reason, forgot the existence of my parents, who've always been really close to me because of my drunken haze. And I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to disappoint the band. I don't want to disappoint our lovely manager, Seppo. I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to disappoint, myself. I just, if I'd be a slave to, a bottle, that would be not necessarily the most, exciting way to go. Everybody can do that. I'd rather be, electrocuted on stage, I guess that'd be a lot cooler. Like that. I'm writing bits and bits all the time, but usually, when we keep on traveling, we're in a different hotel room, every other day, so it's fairly hard to concentrate on finishing a song. But a lot of little, I'm, rambling on, just writing things down, and a couple of melodies here and there. Usually when I get the time to relax back at home, that's when I start writing new stuff. But I got ideas for maybe about like 12 songs or something. But also, Venus doing must be in, I don't know why. I don't know whether I'm, just a masochist or something, but it seems that always writing new stuff, you have to like dig deeper within yourself and within, have stronger lenses to look through, and add the stuff underneath the carpet. So I'm afraid to go there, so it'll take me a while. Just to, go back into the stuff because I'm really addicted to music. And I just want to give myself the space, which is I need time off to be really taken away by music again, and especially being sober, because what I used to do was I get so into it, 10 hours, 12 hours just pass, and I couldn't sleep after it because all the melodies, everything starts, playing in my head, and And what I do is to go to a pub, talk about the weather, and down a few pints to calm myself down. So that's something, I don't want to do now. So it's going to be a very intriguing thing. Because now, for the first time after 99, I'm starting to work in my sleep as well. So that's really cool. I wake up with ideas and I write them down. And they're not necessarily great ideas, but it's kind of fun. So in that sense, I do feel like 16 again. Well, I'm thinking about it like an itch that never goes away. It's just something, it's... or an itch you can't scratch, as they say. Well, so obviously it has something to do with the relationship I was in. And, it's... relationship is very easy to end when there's like a big negative reason to do it. But when you're kind of like on the verge, you're dancing on the razor's edge, and there's a lot of positive and a lot of negative things, and it's hard to balance all those things. That's what makes it complicated for me, at least. In that particular song, it seems that through all the negativity in the relationship we had, we were sleepwalking past hope, because we had a lot of hope and we had a lot of similarities and a lot of things we could have worked on, but us being stupid young people who are fairly young, that had too much their own shit underneath the carpet that should have been cleaned out before. Start with a clean plate, clean slate, and I don't know. It's a very universal thing. Relationships are tough. That's what it's all about. And it's just, it's about when do you really want to let go? When is the time? Because nobody can tell you the time to let go of a relationship, or let go yourself. When's the right time to go with the flow? And when do you have to keep yourself in control? Nobody can tell that to you besides yourself. And that's the toughest lesson in life, I guess. Well, that happens to a lot of people, but the tower falls in different directions, and different people have different cushions to fall on, after it. It's and when it comes to love, you shouldn't be having plan Bs. You just have, it should be total submission to your passion, to your senses, and to your heart, I guess, Rational, I don't believe in a thing called rational love, But, it's, so in a way, it's like, singing that song takes me back to the situation, and also it makes me ponder about future, what kind of decisions I'm going to make, because I'm a really indecisive bastard. It's always different. It's always different. It's, I guess that for me personally, it's like Eskimos got like over 30 words for snow, but we only have one word for love, which is love. Of course there's, adoration, all different kind of little tiny adjectives describing the thing, but they can't describe it, and love is very different with different people. So even though if you're writing about separation or falling in love, it's always different because you fall in love for different reasons. And it's always, and that makes it interesting when it is a new combination for yourself, and you always feel, a kid, very giddy, when it starts and overwhelms you. And that's beautiful. That's why I write the songs, because I can't put that stuff down into mere words. Especially me, my funny accent, and me come from Scandinavia, so it's easy for me to put some of the emotions down in melodies, and get the mood out that way. Very often it seems that a lot of people find themselves in a tough spot, and when it's a matter of love and death, it's just when you really have to make big decisions, at least for yourself, you feel that you're on the verge of losing it or gaining it, or I think that makes life worth living for, right? Makes it challenging, it makes it, well, that's the only thing that keeps me going, at least. So, who's that? Yeah, well, the Office thing, I heard about it for the first time. I'm not big on myths, but, or mythology in general, but, one Finnish director asked me to write something for his film about like 4 years ago, and the film's called Honey Babe, and they actually ended up using one of hymn songs and the end titles, and it's got like the story of Orpheus is the main theme. A guy falling head over heels for a lady, and you know, the lady, for one reason or the other, you know, going to the depths of hell, and the guy being so desperate that he realizes he needs to do whatever he can, even lose himself in the process of saving her. And that's what love is all about, just losing yourself and letting all go just for the little hope for a smile. And then he goes for it, and because of his extremely, you know, his extreme talent, musical talent, he plays his song so well that the masters of hell start weeping and appreciate the song so much that they say that, yeah, Orpheus, you know, take the check and run, but never look back. Don't look back when you're climbing out of hell. And that's the thing in the myth, you know, that's been speculated, why Orpheus looks back. Is it just a curiosity that killed the cat? Is it, you know, what is it all about? Why he had to look back, so he lost his life forever? Did he actually do that for an artistic purpose? To be eternally suffering and to be able to play songs that make the whole earth, all the living creatures in it, weep? Just in search of, you know, the kind of like creative depression everybody seems to be talking about when it comes to artistry. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Well, basically that's what Orpheus did afterwards, you know. He kept on playing, and you know, met a few other chicks, and he wasn't interested, but the chicks were so turned on by the music he played that they, in a sexual frenzy, ripped him apart physically, and you know, that's a good way to go. You know, maybe we should try to get a couple of groupies to do that to us, you know. That'd be kind of, it'll be a sexy ending. But yeah, the heads, yeah. Well, I think that, you know, there's different variations of the story, but they physically rip, you know, all the limbs out, and it was, you know, it was just the torso and the arms separate, and the head was, you know, floating about in the river, and it ended up in the Isle of Lesbos, I guess, where the, you know, term lesbian came from. So it's kind of, you know, weird old myths, but you know, I guess more or less, you know, it's a story of being an artist in a way that you have to, or you're born that way, that you want to lose yourself entirely what you do, and you're willing, for one single successful note, you're willing to give up everything for that particular moment in time, just to be able to be reborn through a note, or through a line of words, or and the search for that can be extremely haunting for a lot of people, and I guess that's one of the reasons that a lot of people end up being, you know, mentally ill, or end up, you know, committing suicides, or doing way too many drugs or alcohol or whatever, just to numb the sensitivity that comes with being an artist. Because you have to keep your ears and your eyes open, all your senses open to all the possible stuff that goes around you. You're like a sponge sucking in all the possible information, and then when you're filled with that, it just bleeds out of you, and hopefully bleeds out in a way that you can be. It can be a cathartic process for the artist, and then it can be hopefully very cathartic for the person who sees or hears the piece of art. And it's not something you're trying to do. It's something you have to do to be able to exist, I guess. That's the reason why I do music. That's how I started. I didn't know how to cope with the world, and then I found an instrument. And through that, I realized that I'm able to cope with the world and its evils a bit better through writing songs.